feel as though my fire has burned many moons. I do not want to stop chasing. I want to keep looking for more wood, more kindling, more small, big logs, anything to put into my fire, because I don't think I'm over. I'm young. I'm very young. And I have plenty to do. My original dream was to swim in college and then make it to the Olympics. But that dream doesn't really have an outlet or tangible skills outside of the possibility of a leadership role, which I got. I find at the end of the day, I only like to shoot one thing, and that's my friends. Being my friends, and the moment is not posed, or the moment is not catered. I'm not catering the moment is catered to me, and I know it, and so I grab my camera and I try to take a photo as fast as I can. I need to show more accountability and figure out more shots, figure out more ways for me to stay almost in the camera. Right now, you're probably wondering, Kansas. Manhattan, Kansas. I know, right? My roommate works here. So I decided that I was just going to come up this week, as I don't work till January. I was going to come up this week and hang out, start this, but more importantly, light my fire and get hype, stay hype, and see my buddy. Because it sucks being alone. That's one of the hardest things that I have found about lighting a fire. At the end of the day, the fire burns out in all directions. So it's not just you who can enjoy the warmth, who can stay out of the cold. It's not just you. It's you, your family, your friends, who could be also your family, or your friends who consider your family, your team of working individuals that you trust to get the job done. It could be your studio team, it could be whoever. It could be whoever, but knowing that the campfire can warm others. Only one person is needed to kindle, or one person is needed to tend the fire. As a fire builder, as a permanent fire builder, I see as though I need to relight my fire. There is a smoking ember. In that moment, I was unable, figuratively and literally, unable to go get more wood for my fire, because somebody had literally and metaphorically dumped a bucket of water on it. A big old bucket. And so I had to restart. I had to really restart. I mean, I had to clean out the embers, clean out the wet wood, clean out the ground, dig the ground under it, because that's wet too. And I had to restart. 3 years later, I feel like I haven't restarted. That's how much water I let get poured on me before I said stop. This is my fire. Alright, this is my fire. Well, another thing I've noticed is in your fire, someone pours water on it. It's no longer a fire. That doesn't mean you can't rebuild it. If you're sitting here wondering, well, do I have a fire? Do I give off warmth? And you can just look at your friends. Whenever you come around, is your fire roaring, warming everybody up? Or somebody taking out that fire, dumped a bucket of water on it, and left you with nothing. I figured that out. 100%. That's step number one, is take off your current perspective glasses and throw on your friend's perspective glasses and look at your fire and look at it and be like, is this what I want? You know, it's not, you have to have a fire. You don't have to do jack shite. You don't have to do it. If you do want to get anything done, want to have friends, and want to live a fruitful life, not a long life, because you can live a long life and not live a fruitful life. To live a fruitful life, you need to retend that fire. You need to dig up the dirt. You need to find some more logs. Make sure they're dry. Find some extra logs. Put them in a tarp. Put them under a tarp. Because the weather ain't gonna stop for you. Hey, where'd you get these logs? Logs, metaphorically speaking, of course, as in things that are going to propel you forward. Motivations, opportunities. You got to grab those opportunities, those logs, and bring them with. There's no going back later for a log. There's no going back, because there are other people in the woods. There are other people in the woods looking for logs, just like you. You can either sit at their fire or keep yours going. But, yeah.
And this is off towards me. Let's find out. How many jugs of fuel you got left?
We already started building another one, so.
I'll have to look. It's less than 10, I'll bet. I'm thinking about looking for another.
Yeah. Quitting nicotine has been one of the hardest things in my entire life. I started vaping when I was maybe 11, like 11, almost 12, which is very young. I had a Juul, and I'm not gonna tell you where I got it from, but I did start with that and transitioned into everything else that I have dived into. I want to talk about this because it's hard to like acknowledge. It's hard to admit it to others, and lastly, it's hard to change. A lot of people can't fathom that change takes time, like a lot of time, or none. But realistically, it takes a lot of time. All the time that you spend thinking about, I want to change, you could also spend changing. I struggle with that too. It's just a thing you have to overcome. first way I quit was more tragic than I was expecting it to be. It was my blood brother dying the day after. When I looked at myself, I didn't like who I was. Not because of what I look like, but because of what I was doing. I mean, you walk around with a frickin' vape in your hand, it's dumb. It's dumb. You walk around, like, what are you stressed about? You got something to be stressed about? Maybe go work out. Maybe do some meditation. Maybe do anything else but cope. Michael had gotten me to where I am today, and his keen to go up to random people and say, "What's up? Do you wanna hang out?" That kind of thing. He did that a lot, and he did that for me when I was walking around our neighborhood that he had just recently moved into. He came up to me and hanging out with him, started going where he was going, and one day he invited me to Boy Scouts, and I went to Boy Scouts. I freaking loved it. It was a lot of fun. I got to meet a lot of really, really, really cool people. But that was just the start. Michael going up to me was the start for me changing who I was, and Michael leaving is once again changed who I was. And I feel it's only right that I do that again. It's been my boy Michael who's really helped me push through, be who I want to be. I quit nicotine the first time in Michigan. I was pretty much by myself, and I stayed strong for about a year and a half, and one day I wasn't. I had a black and mild, smoked a black and mild, and then it restarted. I went back down the same cycle. When I restarted that cycle, I was right at the end of also trying to stop smoking marijuana. I think that I'll be able to truly change when I accept that I can. And you're kind of seeing that in real time. I think I am accepting it in real time. But back to Michael. Michael led me to Boy Scouts. Boy Scouts gave me new friends. Next was Adam. Adam Burr invited me. He said this was the beginning of freshman year. So I'd been in Boy Scouts for about 2 years, or a year and a half at that point. I joined in like late 7th grade or beginning of 7th grade. Adam had reached out to me outside of Boy Scouts and told me that since he knew I had swam since I was a kid and done it off and on, that I should join the swim team, the high school swim team, the Platte County high school swim team. And in that moment, I knew I wanted to change. In that moment, I was searching for something to change. And so I did. I joined the team. I sold my Xbox, my Nintendo Switch. I stopped using Instagram, stopped using TikTok, stopped using all of that. And I put all of my everything into becoming a good swimmer. And a lot changed. Physically, mentally, and then after swim led me to be more passionate about what I want to do, and swim relit my fire for photography. I started taking swim photos at swim meets. I started taking photos of my friends around then, doing God knows what, going God knows where, at what random time of night I decided, or like in the middle of the day. It was always incredibly random. That was the best part, and that is the best part, is when it's completely random. And then, yeah, the fire had been relit by me enjoying swim, but I didn't fully I didn't think I needed to stop everything and start a new life. And that plateaus you at a certain point. You could be a high functional stoner, but you will peak and you will plateau until you stop smoking. Every single person I've ever seen who smoked and then stopped smoking got rid of their plateau where they were stuck at the minute they stopped smoking. Well, 2 to 3 weeks after they stopped smoking, when all the side effects have gone away. Those effects mentally, the bogged brain, the mellow vibe, it can push you through something, push you through pain and trauma in the past, but at some point you gotta pull up your pants, pull up your britches, put them over your shoulders, throw on your boots, and get to walking without anything. The plateau can't stay forever. You know, it gets so long, it's gonna drop off. And then imagine what happens when you drop off. One thing that's known for addicts, especially like the cocaine and all like drinking and stuff, is when you quit and then restart, it's 2 times as worse for your body. And then you start again, it's 2 times more than that last time. More difficult, more hard on your body. Let's change scenes. One of the first steps I'm going to take to elevate myself, elevate what I'm doing, and change is to write out a plan. That is a very important thing to do. If you ever want to be successful, you need to write it out. Literally write it out. The little things before and after that help establish what you're trying to do, or help establish the modes in what you're trying to do, are always overlooked. When they're overlooked, they don't get used, they don't, well, obviously, duh. It's hard to go back and re-establish these things. And I just wanted to clarify, I don't know things, but I've experienced things, and I can give knowledge on that. That's what my perspective is my experience. It's not things I know, because at the end of the day, I don't know anything, honestly. A lot of the stuff we've been told in school, in everyday ads, politics, just conversations, could just as easily be a lie as a natural truth. But even those 2 things can become fuzzy, because that stuff changes. It's all changing. There's only one true truth, and that's change. The denial of change is false, because everything changes. Wanting to not change is maybe this needs to be studied better, but oh yeah. I want a bike.
right now I don't need a bike. Those who are not willing to change are those who will never make it anywhere. Because in order to make it, you have to change. You have to change yourself, change your environments, change what you do on a daily basis, change who you talk to, who you interact with, who you give a peace of mind. Things just need to change in order for, well, things to change. It's as simple as it is, and that's how simple as it should be. Making things more than they are is a problem in itself. The better we can recognize that we're making a problem for our own selves, the faster we can change and grow. Bars.
For Dylan, word for Dylan, smallest Blondie. Thanks for watching, guys.